Welcome back to Books to Riches, where we take all the best financial advice we can find and boil it down into something you can actually use.
To build real wealth.
Yeah, exactly.
And achieve some of that sweet, sweet financial freedom.
And today we're diving into Laura Rowley's Money and Happiness.
Oh, a great one.
Yeah.
It's not just about feeling good, though.
Right.
We're on a mission here
to
pull out the strategies that can help you build actual wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Real wealth, achieve financial freedom.
Yeah. Rowley does a great job of weaving together stories and advice.
Yeah, I think she goes beyond the typical budgeting stuff and really gets into the psychology of money.
Yes, those connections that can sometimes trip us up.
Absolutely.
Like, I know I should be saving more, but then the new phone comes out.
Right, and that's where knowing your money personality comes in, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But first, I think Julie D's story is a good place to start. She's this Florida teacher who found a ton of value in, wait for it, dumpster diving.
Dumpster diving.
To furnish her new home.
Okay, that is commitment.
Right.
But seriously, what can we learn from Julie besides, the unconventional shopping habits?
Well, I think it's about resourcefulness.
Okay.
And prioritizing experiences over material things. Remember, she was laid off, but still managed a month-long trip to the Caribbean.
Wow.
Because she had that nest egg saved up.
Smart.
So maybe you're not dumpster diving.
Probably not.
But think about where you can be creative to save money and reach your goals faster.
Yeah, it makes you think about wealth differently.
Totally.
Like, it's not just the biggest number in your bank account.
It's about freedom and options.
I think options.
Like Julie had when she was laid off.
Right.
In fact, Rowley has this wealth assessment exercise in the book.
Oh, interesting.
And it goes way beyond money.
Okay.
It looks at basic needs, education, financial stability, even personal fulfillment.
Wow.
It really makes you ask yourself,
yeah,
what does the rich life look like to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And how does that connect with your values?
Exactly. Values, that's something I've always struggled with.
Oh, yeah?
When it comes to money.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even put a dollar value on your values?
Exactly.
Well, it's not about putting a dollar amount on them.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that your values are like the engine behind your financial decisions.
Interesting.
Rowley tells the story about Jennifer, who left a really high-paying job to care for her sick mother.
Wow.
It was a tough decision, for sure.
Yeah.
But it showed how important it was for her to put family above, financial gain.
Powerful example.
Right.
But how do you even know what your values are when it comes to money?
Well, think about your everyday activities.
Okay.
How you spend your time, what you prioritize. Those choices can tell you a lot about your values. Like if you're constantly working late. Even when you're financially secure.
Right.
Maybe achievement and career growth are really high on your list.
Okay.
But if you donate a big chunk of your income, maybe generosity and social impact are core values.
I never thought about it like that.
It's a different way to look at it.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Right.
If you're not aware of your values,
yeah,
your money could be going towards things that don't really matter to you.
Exactly. Once you identify those values, then the challenge becomes aligning your financial choices with them.
Which can be tough.
Totally, especially when you're surrounded by messages that contradict your values.
Right, like the pressure to buy the newest phone.
Yeah.
Even though you value simplicity.
Exactly.
And minimizing consumption.
Recognizing those pressures is the first step.
Okay.
Then you can make the choice to spend your money in ways that reflect what truly matters to you.
And that's a good segue into Rowley's next point. Understanding your money beliefs and personality.
So,
yeah, she talks about how childhood experiences, especially family dynamics, can shape our financial habits.
Absolutely, sometimes in ways we don't even realize.
Right.
And Rowley actually has this money personality quiz in the book to help readers figure out their type.
Okay, what are the types?
So there's the hoarder,
okay,
the avoider, the worrier, the giver, the adventurer.
Interesting.
And the indulger.
I have to take that quiz.
It's pretty insightful.
Yeah, I bet it'd be a real game changer to actually know your money personality.
Totally. For example, Rowley shares Maria's story.
Okay.
Who grew up with this scarcity mindset because of her father's experiences. And even when she was making a good income, that underlying belief made it hard for her to feel financially secure.
So it's like those early experiences create a blueprint for us that we carry with us.
It is a blueprint.
Wow.
And recognizing it is the first step towards changing those patterns.
That might be holding you back. Then there's Nancy's story.
Oh, yeah.
She had all this anxiety around money, even though she had enough saved to quit her job.
And start her own practice, right?
Yes.
What's interesting about Nancy is that her anxiety wasn't from actual scarcity.
Oh.
It was about control. Fear of the unknown.
So even if you have the resources, your mindset can still mess things up.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
A lot of financial advice focuses on the external strategies, but Rowley reminds us that our internal world, our beliefs matter just as much.
For success.
For success, exactly.
Makes you wonder if there's a magic formula for money and happiness.
Right.
Because Rowley spends a lot of time debunking that myth that more money equals more happiness.
Yeah, she talks about the hedonic treadmill.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Where people adapt to their increased wealth and material possessions.
Right, but it wears off.
It does.
It's like chasing a moving target.
It is. So even if you hit the jackpot, there's no guarantee of lasting happiness. Rowley says things like autonomy, competence, relationships, and self-esteem are more essential to our well-being than money.
Interesting.
Investing in those areas is what can lead to genuine and lasting happiness.
I like that.
Yeah.
But what about when life throws those curveballs
Oh, yeah.
that mess with your financial stability?
It happens.
Rowley talks about Sharon, right?
Yes.
Who had financial struggles after her husband lost his job.
Yes. Sharon's story is so relatable because it shows that even with careful planning, unexpected things happen.
It's a good reminder to be prepared for those rainy days.
Absolutely.
But it can be hard to stay optimistic when you're facing those setbacks.
It can be.
How did Sharon cope?
Well, she focused on what she could control.
Gotcha.
She prioritized her health, simplified her life,
Okay.
and even started volunteering.
Wow.
It shows that even in tough times, you can find meaning and purpose outside of your finances.
Her story shows the importance of building resilience and staying positive, even when things are tough. So we've talked about values, beliefs, and even the link between money and happiness.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
I'm ready to get into the actual strategies.
Okay, let's do it.
What does Rowley suggest for getting our finances in order?
Let's start with spending habits.
Okay.
Rowley contrasts Krista, who is a meticulous saver, with Sydney, who enjoys a more luxurious lifestyle.
Okay. Two different approaches.
Two very different approaches, but the core message is the same.
Which is?
Living within your means is crucial.
That's where a lot of people struggle.
They do.
Knowing where to start, what's reasonable to spend, especially when everyone on social media seems to be living large.
Right. Rowley recommends a full-on spending expedition.
Spending expedition.
Where you track every single dollar you spend for a whole month.
That's intense.
It is, but imagine what you'd learn.
I can see how that would be eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's easy to underestimate those daily coffees and online purchases.
So easy.
But a whole month.
It sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
But think of it as an investment.
Okay.
Once you've done it, you can start to see the patterns and adjust your spending accordingly.
So it's about gaining control.
And awareness, exactly.
All right, I'm willing to try it. What happens after the spending expedition?
And it's about understanding the difference between fixed expenses and fun money.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Fixed expenses are the essentials.
Right.
Rent, utilities, groceries.
The stuff that keeps the lights on.
Exactly. And the fridge full.
And fun money is for, well, fun.
Exactly, for entertainment, dining out hobbies, those little splurges that bring you joy.
Okay.
Rowley emphasizes that both categories are important.
So it's not about depriving yourself.
No.
But about allocating your money so you can enjoy life while staying on track.
Precisely. A lot of financial advice promotes extreme frugality.
Right.
But Rowley's all about finding a balance.
I like that.
It's about making choices that align with your values and priorities.
Yeah, I love that she emphasizes balance.
Me too.
It makes financial freedom seem less daunting and more achievable.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Building wealth should be a positive and empowering journey, not a constant struggle.
That's a great note to end on for part one.
Yeah, I've covered a lot.
From personal values to those sneaky spending habits.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll tackle emotional spending triggers and dive into Rowley's strategies for conquering debt.
Can't wait. Welcome back to Books to Riches, Last time we really dug into that personal side of money with Laura Rowley's Money and Happiness.
Yeah, we talked about those spending expeditions.
Even dumpster diving.
Oh, yeah, Julie D and her creative decorating.
Exactly.
A great example of thinking outside the box to reach your goals.
But now I want to talk about those emotional spending triggers.
Oh, yeah.
I know I've been guilty of a little retail therapy now and then.
It happens.
Does Rowley have some advice for us?
She does, and it starts with awareness.
Yeah.
Think about those moments when you're most tempted to overspend. Are you stressed from work?
Oh, yeah.
Feeling lonely?
I'm definitely feeling seen right now.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes online shopping is my way to de-stress after a long day.
It's a common one for sure, but once you identify that trigger, you can start replacing the habit with something healthier.
Okay.
And less expensive.
Yeah. Like what?
Instead of adding another item to your cart, maybe take a walk, call a friend, listen to some music.
So it's about finding those alternative outlets.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but what if it's not a specific emotion, just more like a habit?
Okay.
Like, I always want to treat myself after a tough workout.
I hear you. Rowley actually cautions against using shopping as a reward system.
Well, really?
It can create this cycle of relying on material things for happiness.
Interesting.
Instead, find rewards that don't involve spending money.
Like what?
Maybe it's extra time reading a book, relaxing bath, or just acknowledging your accomplishment.
Okay.
Feeling proud of yourself.
I love that it's shifting the focus to experiences and self-care.
Exactly.
But some expenses are unavoidable. Even the fun money. Does Rowley have any tips for saving on those everyday purchases?
Absolutely. She's a big fan of discount clubs for bulk buying, like Costco or Sam's Club.
Yeah, bulk buying can be a lifesaver.
Especially if you have the space.
Right. Any other secrets to stretching those dollars?
Become a comparison shopper extraordinaire.
Okay.
Don't just grab the first item you see. Take the time to research prices online.
Okay.
Compare different stores and brands. Look for coupons and discounts.
I'm a big fan of online deal hunting.
Me too. It's amazing how much you can save with a little effort.
Totally. And never underestimate the power of negotiation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I admit I'm not very good at that.
Practice makes perfect. The worst they can say is no.
True.
And even for essentials like utilities, you can save by switching to energy-efficient options.
Okay.
LED light bulbs, programmable thermostats, low-flow shower heads.
I never thought about negotiating for lower utility rates.
Worth a shot.
But those energy-saving tips are great. It's a win-win for your wallet and the environment. Now let's talk about credit card debt.
Okay.
I know it's a sensitive topic.
It is.
But it's something a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah. Rowley approaches it with empathy and practical advice.
Okay.
She gets into the psychological side of debt, acknowledging that it's not always just about overspending.
Right.
It can be tied to deeper issues.
Okay.
Like emotional voids or societal pressures.
So it's not about shaming yourself for having debt.
Not at all.
But about understanding why you might be using credit cards as a coping mechanism.
Exactly. It's about addressing the root causes.
Not just the symptoms.
But for those already in debt, Rowley outlines clear steps to get back on track.
Okay, like what?
First, take a full inventory of your debt.
Right.
Gather all those credit card statements. Calculate the total amount owed, the interest rates, and the minimum payments.
That sounds daunting, almost scary.
It can be like ripping off a bandage.
But facing reality is the first step.
Exactly. Then build debt repayment into your budget. Allocate a specific amount each month, even if it's small at first.
What if your budget is already stretched thin?
Rowley suggests exploring debt consolidation or balance transfers.
Okay.
You might be able to get a lower interest rate or simplify your payments.
That'd be helpful.
And don't be afraid to negotiate with your creditors.
Wait, you can negotiate with credit card companies?
Absolutely. Many are willing to work with you to create a more manageable payment plan.
Wow.
Being proactive and communicating your situation can make a big difference.
So it's about advocating for yourself.
And exploring those options.
What if it feels too overwhelming to handle alone?
Rowley suggests seeking guidance from a reputable credit counseling agency.
Oh.
They offer support resources and can even negotiate with creditors on your behalf.
That's reassuring.
It is.
There's help available. You don't have to face this alone.
Exactly.
But once you're out of debt, how do you prevent falling back into those old habits?
Rowley emphasizes the importance of improving your credit score. It unlocks better interest rates, loan terms, and even affects things like renting an apartment.
So a good credit score isn't just about bragging rights.
Right.
It's a key to financial stability.
Exactly. Pay your bills on time, keep credit card balances low, and regularly check your credit report for any errors.
Okay.
These steps build a positive credit history that benefits you for years to come.
It's like building a foundation.
For financial success.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, we've tackled spending and debt.
Yeah, we're making progress.
Now I'm ready to move on to the exciting part, saving and investing.
Okay, let's do it.
What are Rowley's insights on building that solid financial future?
She emphasizes having both a rainy day fund and a long-term savings plan.
Right, so the rainy day fund is for those unexpected expenses.
Right, like a sudden car repair or medical bill.
The financial safety net.
Exactly.
But how much should you actually have in that rainy day fund?
Rowley recommends aiming for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses.
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
It might sound daunting, but remember, it's a gradual process.
So if you're also tackling debt, you could split your savings efforts between the rainy day fund and debt repayment.
Exactly. Find a balance that works for you. And once you have that emergency cushion, you can focus more on those long-term goals.
Okay.
Like retirement or a down payment on a house.
And where should you put those savings? Under the mattress is probably not the best option.
Definitely not. Rowley goes over various savings vehicles, including savings accounts, money market accounts, certificates of deposit or CDs, and even savings bonds.
Wow, so many choices.
Yeah.
How do you know which one's right for you?
It depends on your needs and goals. Savings accounts offer low returns, but easy access to your funds.
Okay.
Money market accounts are similar, but might have slightly higher rates. CDs offer higher returns, but require you to lock your money away for a specific period.
So it's a trade-off between liquidity and potential earnings.
Exactly.
What about savings bonds? I remember my grandparents mentioning those.
Oh, yeah. Savings bonds are essentially a loan to the government.
Right.
They offer a guaranteed return and protection against inflation, making them a good option for risk-averse savers.
So there's a safe haven for those who aren't comfortable with the ups and downs of the stock market.
Exactly.
But Rowley also cautions about inflation eating away at your savings, right?
Yes. Choose savings vehicles that offer a return at least matching inflation, so your purchasing power doesn't decrease over time.
Okay.
But saving alone might not be enough to build significant wealth.
That's where investing comes in.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm ready to put those dollars to work.
All right.
Where do I even start with investing?
Rowley provides a great overview of key options.
Okay.
Stocks, bonds, and mutual funds.
Right, stocks first.
Stocks represent ownership in a company.
Okay.
When you buy stock, you're betting on that company's future success.
So you're basically becoming a mini owner
That's the idea.
and sharing in the company's profits.
Exactly. Stocks historically offer higher returns than other investments over the long term.
Okay.
But they also carry higher risk, meaning their value can fluctuate.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people losing their shirts in the stock market.
It happens. How do you manage that risk?
Yeah.
It's about understanding your risk tolerance.
Okay.
If you're risk-averse, you might focus on well-established companies with a history of steady growth.
Or you might consider bonds.
Yes, bonds are essentially loans to companies or government entities.
So with bonds, you're lending money and earning interest.
Exactly. Bonds usually offer lower returns than stocks,
Okay.
but are considered less risky.
Got it.
They can provide a steady income stream and diversify your portfolio.
And what about mutual funds?
Ugh.
I keep hearing about those, but don't really understand how they work.
Mutual funds pool money from multiple investors to buy a diverse range of assets like stocks or bonds.
Okay.
It's like having a professional manage your investments and spread your risk.
So it's a more hands-off approach.
Exactly, which can be appealing if you don't have the time or expertise to manage individual stocks and bonds.
Right. But with so many mutual funds out there, how do you know which ones are worth your money?
Rowley suggests starting with index funds.
Index funds.
These funds track a specific market index, like the S&P 500.
Okay.
You're basically riding the wave of the overall market performance, which historically tends to go up over time.
So instead of trying to beat the market, you're aiming to match it.
Exactly. And index funds usually have lower fees than actively managed funds, which can make a big difference in your returns over time.
Sounds like a smart strategy. This is all great information, but I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed.
It's a lot to take in.
There's so much to learn about investing.
Don't worry, it's a gradual process.
Okay.
Rowley emphasizes that building wealth is a journey, not a race.
Right.
It's about continually learning and refining your strategies as your knowledge grows.
That makes investing feel less intimidating and more like an adventure.
That's the spirit. And remember, you don't have to navigate this alone. Seeking guidance from trusted advisors can be incredibly helpful.
Especially for those complex financial decisions.
Absolutely.
We've covered so much ground in this book.
Well, we have from conquering debt to exploring the world of investing.
What else does Rowley have in store for us?
Next time, we'll dive into those big money milestones, like marriage, buying a home, and even having children.
Oh, big life stuff.
We'll explore how to approach those life events with both financial wisdom and personal fulfillment.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned for part 3 of our deep dive into money and happiness.
Welcome back to Books to Riches. We're wrapping up our deep dive into Laura Rowley's Money and Happiness. In the last 2 parts, we tackled everything from, spending habits and debt to even dipping our toes into investing.
We covered a lot of ground, but Rowley doesn't stop there. She also goes into some common money mistakes driven by fear and greed.
Oh, fear and greed, classic combo.
Right.
I know I've fallen for those get-rich-quick schemes before.
We've all been there.
They sound so promising, but usually it's a huge letdown.
It's fascinating how she shares the story about the dinner party.
The dinner party.
It was this gifting circle that promised women a fast track to wealth.
Gifting circle. That sounds intriguing, but also a little sketchy.
Right, and Rowley breaks down how seductive these schemes can be.
Yeah.
Revealing the math just doesn't add up. And the ethical implications of profiting at the expense of others.
It's a good reminder to be cautious and do your research.
Absolutely.
Before jumping into anything that promises unrealistic returns.
Rowley encourages us to approach financial opportunities with healthy skepticism. Do your due diligence research thoroughly.
Okay.
And make informed decisions based on solid financial principles, not just hyper promises.
So protect yourself from those who might exploit your desire for financial gain.
Exactly. Speaking of major life decisions, Rowley also guides us through those big money milestones that can impact our financial journey.
Like what?
She tackles marriage, job changes, buying real estate, having children.
Oh, the big ones.
Right. These life events can bring so much joy, but also financial complexities.
Definitely. Let's start with marriage. Merging finances and making joint decisions can be tricky even for couples deeply in love.
Yeah. Rowley stresses the importance of open communication about money before tying the knot.
Before you say I do.
Exactly. Understand each other's financial habits, goals, and create a plan that works for both partners.
Be on the same page from the start. Does Rowley suggest any specific strategies for managing money as a couple?
Well, she recommends having regular money dates.
Money dates.
To check in on your finances and make sure you're both on track.
That's a good idea. And she even suggests considering a prenuptial agreement.
Okay. Especially if one or both partners have significant assets or debts. It's about protecting yourself and addressing those financial matters in a clear and legally binding way.
Might not be the most romantic conversation, but it can save a lot of heartache later on.
It can. What about couples who are already married? Any advice for them?
Yeah.
Rowley suggests finding a balance between managing joint finances and maintaining some individual spending freedom.
So it's not about merging everything into one big pot.
Right. It's about honoring the partnership while respecting each other's autonomy.
That makes sense. And when it comes to career changes, Rowley reminds us that those transitions often involve salary negotiations, benefits packages, and potential income gaps.
It's a lot to juggle.
Especially if you have family responsibilities.
Well, Rowley encourages us to be prepared, research thoroughly, and make informed choices that support our financial well-being during those transitions.
Okay.
She even shares Ellen's story, a woman who felt trapped in her job after becoming a mother, but ultimately found value in being the family's primary financial provider.
So financial freedom isn't just about earning a big paycheck.
Right.
It's about having the flexibility to make choices that align with your values and priorities.
Exactly. Speaking of making informed choices, Rowley also offers some insights into seeking guidance from a financial advisor.
Okay, I've always wondered about financial advisors. When does it make sense to hire one? How do you even find a good one?
Rowley has some great tips for choosing a trustworthy and competent advisor.
Okay, like what?
She emphasizes researching their qualifications, understanding their fees, and ensuring their investment philosophy aligns with your risk tolerance and financial goals.
So it's like finding a financial partner who gets you?
Who gets you and can help you navigate those complex decisions.
With confidence. And as we wrap up our exploration of money and happiness, Rowley leaves us with a powerful message about generosity.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about accumulating wealth for ourselves, right?
Exactly. It's about using our resources to make a positive impact in the world.
Okay.
She talks about philanthropy and charitable giving as a meaningful way to share our wealth and support causes that we care about.
So true wealth encompasses not just our financial assets,
Right.
but our capacity for compassion and giving back.
Exactly. It's about aligning our financial choices with our values, creating a budget that reflects our priorities, and making those dollars work for us, not against us.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. We've covered so much ground from, personal values and spending habits, all the way to conquering debt, embracing those big life transitions with financial wisdom.
It's been a journey through practical strategies and insightful stories, all aimed at helping you build a life of both financial freedom and genuine happiness.
Exactly. And we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into money and happiness. Remember, building wealth is a journey, not a destination.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving towards that rich life, both financially and personally. Until next time on Books to Riches.